Do you constantly have moments where you think you're talking too much, or perhaps you get bored easily, or even have problems sleeping at night? Well, if all these signs check, then there's a possibility that you have anxiety. In recent times, symptoms of anxiety are overlooked as normal because sometimes they tend to grow and become a part of us, hence making it hard for us to understand whether or not there's an issue. In today's video, we'll be showing you 5 hidden signs of anxiety. Do stay tuned and enjoy. Number 1. You're quick to jump into conclusions. When you're anxious, one of the very first things your mind tries to do is to look for potential threats and things that are likely to happen. You're always constantly assuming the worst, and even though you try to understand the situation, you just can't help but think of the worst possible outcome. When this happens, it's usually as a result of anxiety, and it can be easily seen to be a result of being overwhelmed. Number 2. You might experience difficulty in making decisions. While this can happen in many cases, even when you're in a situation where you have to make a very simple decision, it's one of the hidden signs that you're anxious. One thing though is that this should not be mistaken when you have to make a big decision. It's perfectly normal to feel strange when the decision you're about to make is a really big one. However, when small decisions start getting to you, you get frustrated and you keep pondering on what to do until you end up being unproductive. Then this should be looked at as a sign of anxiety, and it may be caused by the fear of making the wrong choice. If you've not already done so, please subscribe to the channel for more self-help tips like this. Number 3. You start to be hard on yourself. At some point, many people feel that they want more than they're currently getting, or they should be doing more than they're currently doing. And while this can be seen as being a perfectionist, it's usually mistaken as a hidden sign of anxiety. Now, this is not to say that perfectionists are anxious people. No, that's not the thing. But when you're constantly feeling the pressure to do more, even when there's no feedback, or when you start to compare yourself to others and then use it as a bar to define how hard you need to work, it could be as a result of anxiety. This usually happens because of the constant fear of not being enough, or even seeing yourself as a fraud when you're doing just fine. Number 4. You tend to struggle to get to sleep. One of the very first signs of anxiety that is mostly overlooked is lack of sleep. In most cases, people tend to keep a lot going on in their head even when they want to sleep, and as a result, they end up waking up feeling like they didn't even sleep at all. While it's common for people to have a hard time sleeping sometimes, the constant need to just lie awake is something that shows that you're anxious, and you can't just wait to get out of bed, even when you've not had enough sleep. Number 5. You suddenly get irritated easily. Anxiety tends to always keep you on edge, even up to the extent that the slightest things can prove triggering or upsetting for your mood. At such moments, very small things become a really big deal to you, and you might end up losing your cool or feeling cranky for a long time. It's absolutely true that we all tend to have bad days and days where we can't seem to tolerate anyone. However, it might just be a sign that you're anxious and you need to really just slow down. Even as anxiety might seem like a really regular thing that would come off as normal, a closer look will show you that these things are being taken for granted, and they might be affecting your mood and how you're going about things. The very first thing you'll want to do is to take a breather and give yourself a break. However, if things seem very serious, you should consider getting help by seeing your doctor or a therapist. There is no shame in having anxiety, and being quick to understand the signs will only help you grow and be better. Do you happen to relate with any of these signs? Let us know in the comment section. If you also enjoyed the video, hit that like button, share with your friends, and of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. If you like this video, then you should also check out 10 habits that can damage your brain.